Less than 12 hours before this man is accused of slashing a teen's throat, he attacked someone with a sledgehammer.
My son was like somebody cut his throat.
He sliced his neck and he tried to steal his phone.
I could see his neck gashed wide open. I could see all the way down to the meat.
1 more millimeter and he, probably wouldn't have made it.
He just ran out. I didn't even see him. I didn't know what he looked like or anything.
As recently as January, he was arrested and charged with aggravated assault with a deadly weapon. Authorities in that case say he was using a bladed weapon.
Prosecutors dropped the charges, though, and he was released from jail just 4 days before the incident with the Clarke.
When a hurricane strikes or something like that, you have a plan, okay? And you have a plan for eventualities. Any responsible adult has a plan for certain eventualities. Things that could happen, things that statistically do happen, call for a plan. There was a horrific hate crime, anti-white hate crime, that happened in Daytona Beach. Luckily, this kid didn't die, okay? He didn't die because a power greater than himself made him turn his head at the last moment. Reminds me of another person that was almost killed that turned their head at the last moment. Sometimes I feel like we're just being watched over, you know? But that's a subject for another video. Now, I could make a video criticizing the legal system and how the legal system failed everybody here. But I think it'd be much more beneficial to talk about what could the family have done differently to keep this from happening. What strategic steps can be taken to make sure this doesn't happen to you or somebody you care about. If you've been watching this channel and channels like mine long enough, you know that I'm going to say situational awareness. But that's the low-hanging fruit. It's easy to say situational awareness. What else could be done differently to prevent this from happening? There's a glowing elephant in the room for me that I see that nobody else is seeing. I want you to pay close attention to this kid's haircut. He's got long hair. He's one of these fake country boys that I've railed against a lot. He's got this, can't decide if he's country, can't decide if he's skater. This haircut, whatever we call it, I don't know what to call it. This haircut makes you a target. In fact, I recently had long hair, and the reason I had long hair is because I wanted to look less aggressive. Because I have an aggressive reputation, and because I naturally look somewhat intimidating, I grew my hair out long to look less aggressive. It got too hot because it's starting to heat up out here. In the summertime, I like to wear my hair short. But when I'm trying to look less aggressive, I grow my hair out. If you're not a big guy, if you're a skinny guy, the last thing you want to do is grow your hair out. You do not want to present yourself as a soft, middle-class person. You do not want to present that is not an image you want to project everywhere you go, that you're a soft, middle-class person that doesn't know how to fight. And the fastest way to present the idea that you're a soft, middle-class person that doesn't know how to fight is to have this kid's haircut. This kid is broadcasting immediately when I walk in the room. I know this kid is soft, and I know this kid doesn't know how to fight. His demeanor, the way he talks, the way he acts, the lack of situational awareness, these are things that I instantly pick up on, and I'm not a bad person, but if I was a bad person, this is the exact type of person I would target. Absolutely. Another thing I want to point out is the family said, this is an area we thought was safe. I have another brutal reality for everybody that watches this. There is no area that is truly safe. It can be made a little bit more safe by this thing behind me called a fence. Okay? There's fences that keep bad people in as well. They're called prison. Unless you're in a gated community, there's nothing to stop somebody from drifting to your side of town and having a criminal impulse to stab you, which is exactly what happened in this situation. Their paths crossed. The idea that there's this magical invisible barrier that's going to keep mentally ill people with knives from getting to you it's largely false, especially if you live in a major metropolitan area. Let me explain this. It's a statistical reality, okay? If you live in a city with millions of people, there are some wrong numbers. There are some mentally ill, crazy people. The number of those crazy people increases with the population. The more the population, density, the more the distribution of crazy, nut job, violent people there's going to be. It's that simple. In a rural area, yes, there are crazy, violent people out here, 100%, but they're easy to identify. You can see them from a mile away, and everybody knows who they are. And there's just fewer of them because the population density, if 1% of a population is dangerous, violent lunatics, that 1% is a lot higher if the number you're dealing with is 10 million. This is basic mathematics. And I know it sounds like I'm victim blaming and scolding the victim. I'm scolding the victim and being mean to the victim because I want him to survive. And I don't want this to happen to people like him, okay? And if you have parents, to parents out there, if you have a teenage son with a dorky haircut like this, I'm telling you, it makes him a target. 100%. I understand girls his age might think it's cute because, you know, at that age, girls like little doofuses that are like, hey, man, yeah, hey, dude, yeah, I went to the skate park, man. I understand. There's no taxes, there's no bills to pay, and it's low stakes. So, yeah, I understand girls his age like a haircut like that. I get it, okay? I understand. He wants to look cute to the girls, okay? However, he's going to look cute to some other people as well. And I just want you to realize that. And God forbid if he gets a DUI, he's going to look real cute in the county jail too. I'm just being honest. You have to be aware of, you know, I see these young guys with the long haircuts, the kind of fake country boys, you know, they're playing the rap music in their trucks and stuff, and I see them driving toward a cliff. And the cliff is this: they're going to get a DUI, and they're going to go to their county jail, and they're going to be around a bunch of predatory people with a long haircut that makes them look like a girl. I see them driving toward a cliff, bro. A lot of them dudes are going to go to prison, and let's just say bad things are going to happen to these guys and leave it at that. The world has just now changed in the blink of an eye, and middle-class white people have not adapted to this new reality that they're in. The world has just changed. Economic instability has hit. Resource scarcity is starting to, you know, the age of luxury beliefs is over. The age of pretending things can't hurt you is over. You are vulnerable. You are mortal. You can be hurt, and there's people out there that want to hurt you. There's people out there. It already happened with Irina Zarutska, the same exact type of thing. There's no invisible wall to keep these people from drifting into your neighborhood. None. It does not exist. And remember, an ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure. Moving out here, living out in a rural area, increases your odds, okay? I don't know why you would want to pay $250,000 for a piece of property that big anyway. That seems like a scam. Guys, please make sure to like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell icon. Check out my training videos. I got different training videos on how criminals operate, how criminals think, body language, stuff like that. Stuff that a lot of you guys will find useful. Check out the training videos, stuff like that. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell icon. Check out the merch, all the good stuff. Support the channel. I'll see you guys on the next one. Jordan Jereb signing off.